Will you work? Thanks, Emily. Good to see you. Dashboard. Yes.
So the advocate is on this side, right? And then when he sees behind is there something there that he sees, or is it just like the concept of the arm?
Concept of the heart. He sees into the heart. So when you look through this way, the arm is, when on Patanjali's side, the arm is crossing over, kind of like when you stand in front of someone with arms crossed, versus you see into the cavern of the heart.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like trying to write.
Hi.
I was like, I didn't know if there was something there, but it's his heart.
Heart. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Is that your tiny water bottle? It's so sweet.
It's a coffee cup, actually.
Oh.
I don't like to have, especially in summer, I won't drink like a 16-ounce coffee just because I already feel jittery
Yeah.
from the heat. So this is sufficient.
I love it. Bless you. I'm good. Yeah. Hi. that. Hi, y'all. Welcome. Hi, how are you? We have plenty of time before we get started. We're waiting on a bunch of folks. So while you're getting comfortable anywhere you like, and we'll use all of the props this evening. So 2 blocks are over here. There's therapy balls in the white basket and a strap. And we'll be doing a few things with the knees down on the floor. So if you'd like to grab a blanket for any extra padding, you can grab that too. And I can also bring some stuff over to you as we start moving around, but all the props. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes? Yes. Hi, Bella. How you doing? Good. It's good to see you. Yes. I'm going on one more next week, and then I'm here. We all deserve it.
I know.
Have you gone anywhere?
Yes, I went to the Finger Lakes,
Ooh.
which was really nice. Ithaca, and
Had you been there before?
no, it was awesome. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. As they say, Ithaca is gorgeous.
And all the waterfalls and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to London next month.
Fun.
So that'll be like my big trip.
Yeah. Use it.
You have to learn the language.
Exactly. I'm gonna go see O'Mary
Oh my god.
In New York?
on the West End in London.
Oh, I didn't realize it was there.
This monsoon.
Oh my god. I saw Jinx in New York.
Really?
Yes. I like, she was on Vocalist and I was like, I just want to talk to you.
Cole is doing it right now on the West End, and then Jinx is doing it after him, so I'll see them.
Do you have context about the show? I've seen it twice, and it's like very different. I forgot the first time what happened, so the second time it was like I was rewatching something completely new.
All I know is the context I've gotten from Bo and Yang's podcast.
Okay. So yeah. So you got it all.
Exactly. Like I know that.
That's so
And
fun.
I saw Jinx's episode, so I'm excited. Yeah.
Every time they announce someone new, I keep wanting to go. I can't afford every single one of this show.
No. Well, New York, West End is a little less expensive than New York, so
Mhm.
I'm excited.
Mhm.
Our tickets were $90.
Okay.
That's good.
Not that bad.
No.
Yeah.
Fun.
I know. I'm excited.
So
I
fun.
know. It's gonna be really cool. And then I'm going on the retreat. The Three Queens.
The PA retreat? Oh, nice.
I was thinking of doing that, but it's like right when my niece goes well.
Yeah. That's
Maybe another time.
Yeah. What, Bella, do you remember what town it's in?
somewhere in West PA.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. We're gonna do like horseback riding and tub soaking and yoga.
Wow.
Really fun.
Are you going with anyone? Did you? Nice. I'm sure you'll see familiar faces. Yeah.
I signed up for a double room, so we'll see what happens.
Perfect. You know, some people like sign up for those retreats like with
Yeah.
a yoga friend or a non-yoga friend, but that's great.
I'm just trying to hang out.
Yeah, you're gonna be in good company.
Exactly. I figured.
I'm going to Vermont next week, and then I'm going to go to the beach again in September. I can't get enough. It's so good.
I know, I haven't been, I have to go.
3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. All right, y'all, we'll get started. In theory, there's plenty of room for everyone to fit. In theory, I know there's some folks who come to class and are fighting the parking gods and everything in between, so they'll come up closer to me. But in theory, there's 6 more folks who might come, but I see some pockets. The only suggestion that I have is if you do see an inch of space next to you or on the right or the left, maybe you scooch a drop closer just so those that are coming in a little later can just slide their way in without disrupting anyone else's space. But thank you. Okay, summer, it is upon us. There's a bunch of new faces to me, and so if I didn't get a chance to officially meet or say hi, my name is Anisha. Thank you so much for coming. If you had a chance to take class last week with Gashika, incredible work for her and everyone involved. She's also going to be teaching next week for me on Tuesday, and then we're back to the regular program schedule, but she's phenomenal. So if you haven't had a chance to take class with her, she will be right here if you fast forward time 1 week later. Okay, I have an agenda of what we're moving towards today. I was thinking doing some heart openers, some back bends, and some hip openers as well, but in peak summer, I wanted to open it up to see if there are any requests, any body parts, any poses, any areas that need some extra special attention, and can very happily weave them into class today. Pigeon. We're going to pigeon. Yes, and we'll do some extra pigeon now once the request is there. Has anyone been on the Philly Pigeon Tour yet? Have you heard of this? You've heard of it, okay. But no one has, no confirmed attendees in the room yet. Okay, I'm looking for feedback because they are one of my fears. It was good, you heard it was good? Okay, okay. What's that? It is, do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so there's a guy who will take you on a tour mostly through Italian market and talk about the pigeon herds, where they nest, their behavior. Trying to remember what else, but someone else in the room, I didn't know any of these people, someone else gushed over the tour.
Okay.
And having, recognizing the leader, and she gushed, and he explained, and that's what I got.
Okay, okay. A tour of the Italian market pigeons. And I think they have a social media. Anyway, does that satisfy the pigeon request for class today? No, we'll do the pose, but we'll also talk about the pigeon itself. How's everyone else feeling? Anyone else? Any other requests? Okay. Well, as always, take breaks, sip water. I'll keep the fans moving as we start to get a little warmer, but really take time to pace yourself as we're thick in the season of summer. So together, can we actually begin in a pose called heart bench, which if you like a version of it and prefer a setup, please feel free to come into it. The version that I like is you'll actually all have your heads facing the front of the room. Your feet will be to the back of the room. I like to have one block at its highest height, somewhere to the top of your mat. Then the other block, maybe a fist or 2 fists width away, at its middle height. If you want some extra luxury and softness and you have a blanket and you'd like to drape the blanket over, you're more than welcome to. But go ahead and come to lie onto your back so that lower block hits right between your shoulder blades. Think less of the bendy part of your middle spine, the lumbar spine, but let it support right in the shoulder blades, and then you can use your hands to adjust that higher block so that it supports the weight of your head. And as you take all the time that you need to arrive, sometimes it takes just an inch or 2 of movement of the blocks to create an entirely different experience. So please feel free to wave a hand or a foot over if anything doesn't feel quite right or asymmetrical. But let yourself arrive in any way, shape, or form. You might have your legs out long in front of you. If you're feeling anything in your low back or in your hips this evening, you might bend your knees. Bring your feet wide and let your knees rest into one another so that the weight of your legs supports the other. But as you have them already, do let your arms get heavy alongside of you. And a moment to explore what it feels like to have maybe your palms gently turned down towards the floor, to feel that sense of heaviness, connectedness to the ground. Or even letting your palms gently turn up towards the sky to feel the shoulder blades soften towards each other. But if you have it already, let your eyes soften or close so you can listen for your own breath. In the beginning of class and at any point when we close our eyes, it's a moment to see yourself more clearly than before. To let each soft and steady breath dissolve the day and the afternoon that was. To let each breath help you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after creates a little more room for what has yet to come. So without the need to change or alter your breath in any way, can you see where your breath prefers to be? For some of us, it stays higher up in the chest and more in the front parts of your body. And as you notice your breath, can you see how it slowly begins to deepen? Let your next inhale move from your nose, down into your belly, and up into your chest. And as you exhale through your nose or parted lips, let the parts of you touching the ground and those blocks get a little bit heavier. Continue with a few more rounds of that breath just on your own, letting each breath move in and down as it fills you up completely. And every exhale through your nose or mouth lets you get 2% heavier into the earth. The longer the days, the warmer the days. The tendency to move at a faster pace is sometimes within us. So can you take the time to notice what it feels like to be supported by the props, be supported by the ground, and more importantly, supported by your breath? Feel that cool air as it comes in through the nose, and the warmth of your exhale as you offer that breath out. We'll begin our practice and our time here together with 3 more rounds of that breath. So wait for your next inhale as it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out through your nose or mouth. 2 more times just on your own. At the bottom of your breath, pause for even a moment. Take notice of any shift that comes when you listen for and really remember your own breath. And as you keep a thread of that connection inward, begin to blink your eyes open and start to bend both knees as both feet come onto the floor if they're not already. With your feet heavy on the ground, start to reach both of your arms up towards the ceiling and spin your palms towards each other as if you're holding a beach ball in between those hands. Spread your fingers, straighten the arms, and as you inhale, begin to stretch your fingertips 3 more inches to try to touch the disco ball overhead. Feel the shoulder blades broaden. And as you exhale, plug the shoulder blades together. Feel your upper back settle into that block. Do that 2 more times with your breath. Inhale to reach up, spread the fingers. And as you exhale, plug the shoulder blades together. Even feel your belly knit back towards the spine. 1 more big breath in to reach up, spread the fingers wide. And as you exhale, plug your shoulder blades in towards one another. Now, keeping the shoulder blades plugged in, start to reach your arms overhead towards the front of the room. spinning your palms in towards each other. Less how much you can touch the floor, maybe the thumbs do, but can you spin those palms towards one another? And as you listen for the breath, take a full breath in. Stay for the exhale, stretch back through the fingertips as you slide the ribs back towards your spine. Now on your inhale, begin to reach your arms up towards the ceiling once again. Gently lift your head up off of that block, and you can use your hand to clear that block out of the way, the one that's just underneath your head. Start to interlace your fingers to bring them to the back of your head itself, and let your elbows dart open towards opposite edges of the room. Can you keep your chin lifting away from your chest as you take a full breath in? And on your exhale, for this heart bench crunch, start to peel yourself away from the floor, keeping your upper back connected to the block. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale to drape back, keep the chin lifted. And as you exhale, think belly to the spine, and that lets your heart get a little lighter. 4 more rounds on your own. You might stay here with your knees bent, feet on the floor for more support. If you want to add a little zest in the lower half, you might straighten your legs out in front of you as you dig your heels, your calves, and the backs of your thighs into the ground. But can you offer it to your breath first and foremost? You might even go a little slower than you normally would, taking the entire inhale to coil back. And each and every exhale, the belly knits to lift your heart away from the ground. The 4th or 5th round, anywhere you are, the next time you curl up and away from the block, bend your knees, bring your feet onto the floor, and let your hands catch behind your thighs to curl yourself up to a seat off of the block. Hug the knees in towards your chest, let your spine grow 1 inch taller, and then keep that as you start to flip over and come to tabletop facing the front of the room. You might bring those blocks to frame out the front sides, hi Kiko, and corners of your mat. You might have a blanket underneath your knees for some extra padding. But in your table, see if your hands can come as wide as your mat, even the pinkies grazing the outer edges. Let your knees be under your hips and start to curl all 10 of your toes under. Now moving with your breath more than my voice, start to round and arch your spine through a few rounds of cat and cow, really linking your breath and movement together. Just like we did 5 breaths in those heart bench crunches, 5 more breaths on your own. Maybe staying in that slow breath per movement. Maybe staying in the rounded or arched shape for a few extra rounds and cycles of breath. But see what it feels like to not just move your body in isolation, but how your breath and body can really harmonize together. As you come to your next exhale, make your way back to table, find your neutral spine. And this time you'll keep your low half where it is, your hips, knees, and feet, as you begin to walk your hands a few palm prints forward of your shoulders. Let those hands stay as wide as your mat. And as you peek at the thumbs, on an inhale, shrug your shoulders to the ears, get very long through the sides of your waist. And as you exhale, push through your hands to let your chest get heavier towards the floor. Your forehead might come to a block, or it might tap the ground in between your hands. But for puppy pose, Anahastasana, think of this less like child's pose. So if your butt is all the way to your heels, see if you can come out halfway, walk yourself further forward and wider so that the thighs can be more vertical, letting the chest get heavier to the ground. And now do your best to breathe here. Slow down the next breath in. And with each exhale, can you keep feeling the belly and ribs knit back as the shoulder blades soften together on your upper back? Now on your next inhalation, push through your hands, rise back up to tabletop. And from your table, with your hands as wide as your mat, walk your knees back a few inches behind your hips. Start to curl your toes under and take it to downward facing dog, as much time and all the breaths you need to find your way there. In your down dog, you might peek to see, are those hands as wide as your mat with the index fingers pointing straight ahead? You might stay still. You might pedal your heels one at a time from side to side. You might also bend and straighten your knees simultaneously. But let it be in reverence to your breath first and foremost. Slow down your next breath in and lengthen the entirety of your exhale out. Now at the bottom of your breath, begin to lift your heels. A tiny bend in your knees, look forward, and 1 foot at a time, start to walk your feet up towards your hands to come into your forward fold. Those blocks are right there. Perhaps your hands come high onto blocks out in front of you to let the floor meet you where you are. You might widen your feet an inch or two, or let the knees soften to give your low back some extra room. But let your head be heavy here as you bow in towards yourself, taking a longer breath in and a deeper breath out, bowing towards your own heart. Now, after a few breaths, bring your hands up to your hips, stand through your legs, and a slow inhale brings you all the way up to rise as your hands come down by your sides. Let your feet be right underneath your hips. On an inhale, begin to reach your arms forward and up to the sky. As you exhale, soften your knees, hinge from your hips to fold. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hands to your blocks or shins as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, fold, plant your palms as you step it back to plank pose, the top of your push-up. Now here, you might have your knees lifted or you might tap them to the ground behind your hips. We'll take a few breaths. Can you bring those hands to come as wide as your mat if they're not already? And now without moving your hands, try to hug your palms towards each other to feel the forearms ignite. Now slide your ears back so your head is in line with your chest. A slow breath in. And as you exhale, begin to bend your elbows to lower all the way down to your belly. Bring those hands wide. Inhale to rise for cobra or baby cobra as you lift the chest up. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog, tabletop, or that puppy pose we just did for 3 deep breaths on your own. The breath moves first in the direction of your heart. Your heart slowly then awakens the mind. And your mind inspires the full depth and brilliance of your body. So as you slow down your next breath in, can it fill you up completely? And as you exhale, press your palms down and forward to lift your butt up and back if you're in downward facing dog. Now at the bottom of your breath, begin to lift both heels, soften your knees, peek forward, and come forward, feet to your hands, to your standing forward fold. As you inhale, lengthen halfway, grow long through the spine. And on your exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Take a breath to rise, stand through your legs, reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, let your hands come down by your side. This time, do find your block and place your block in between your inner thighs to give your legs something to hug into. Think of it less high in the groins, but more in the middle of the thighs. And as your feet fall hip width apart, give the block a little hug from side to side. Now slide the ribs back, hug the shoulder blades together, and try to peek away from the ground. As you take a breath in, reach your arms forward and up, hug the block. As you exhale, hug the block as you fold, bowing in. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hug the block as you reach your chest forward. And on your exhale, hug the block as you fold and bow in. Okay, it's gonna get a little awkward, but just work with me. You'll plant your palms, and with the block still there, tiptoe, skitter, hop your feet back to plank pose with the block still there. Whether your knees are up or down, hug the block. Slide the ribs back and bring the ears back in space as you take a slow breath in. And on your exhale, hug the block as you bend your elbows and lower all the way down to your belly. Negotiate with that block as you press your feet down, hug the block and lift up for cobra. And on your exhale, with the block still there, take it up and back to downward facing dog as your hips lift to the sky. We're moving towards a practice of back bends. We've done a few already, but heart openers and back bends are all governed by the legs. The more the legs can hug into center, specifically this real, later the imaginary block, the more space you might find in the upper back and in the chest. So one more awkward, can you hug the block, lift your heels, and soften the knees? And now look between your hands as you tiptoe, hop, 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 skitter, wibble your feet towards your hands into your forward fold. Good. Inhale to lengthen halfway, hug the block as you reach your heart forward. And exhale to hug that block as you fold and bow in. Okay, finally, ditch the block, set it off to the side. Keep your feet hip width apart as you bend your knees, sit your hips back, and slide your palms up to your thighs. Think butt back, hug an imaginary block as you press into your legs to lift your gaze away from the floor. You might stay here for more support in the low back. If you want to add some heat in the upper body, maybe your arms reach to the sky, but remember the breath. A slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Think bottom ribs back as you lift your gaze away from the ground. Now inhale to come all the way up to rise. Reach up to touch the sky. And as you exhale, fold, bowing in towards yourself. Keep your right foot forward. Step your left foot all the way back to find your lunge. Come high onto your blocks or fingertips on either side of your right foot. And now wiggle the left toes back just another inch to get longer here in your stance. You'll stay in that lunge, push into the fingertips to lift your chest, a big breath in. And on your exhale, begin to straighten your right knee as you fold and bow in. Let's do that 2 more times. A slow inhale brings you through to lunge. Bend the knee, lift your chest up. And as you exhale, let the front leg straighten as you bow in. 1 more time. Wait for your inhale as you come through to lunge. And on exhale, begin to straighten the front leg. And now pause here as you take a few breaths in pyramid pose. With both of those legs straight, can you try to wrap your left hip to the front of your mat? Tack your right hip to the back of your mat and see where that sensation travels in the back of your right leg. Now come up halfway to lengthen, push into your blocks or the floor to reach your chest forward. Keep your left hand connected as your right hand comes to your right hip. Wrap your right hip back, shrug your right shoulder up and back, and from your belly start to turn to the right. You can stay here with your hand on your hip the whole time, or maybe your right arm reaches up to the ceiling for this variation of revolved triangle. But think outer right butt cheek back. Press the big toe side edge of your right foot down, and now lean back against yourself as you take a slow breath in and a longer breath out. On an inhale, begin to unwind, lower your right hand, look forward, and all the hops you need to bring your left foot to meet your right, back into your forward fold. Inhale to come up halfway to lengthen. Try to slide the ribs back to support the low back. And exhale to fold in towards yourself. Second side, keep your left foot forward. Slide the right foot back through to lunge. The higher you are up on fingertips or blocks, just the more space it'll give your hips to move around in. But wiggle the right toes back. And with your breath, inhale to lift the chest up, grow long through the spine. And exhale to straighten the front knee as you fold and bow in. Twice more on your own. Big inhale through to lunge. How long can your chest reach? As you exhale, fold and let the front leg straighten. 1 more time. Take a long breath in on your own. Come through to lunge. And now the third time that left leg straightens, pause and take a few breaths here. When the left leg is forward, sometimes those hips want to spiral open to the right. So can you wrap your right hip to the front of the room? Tack the outer left hip back and see where sensation travels in the back of the left leg. Now keep all of that as you come up halfway to lengthen. Reach your chest forward. Keep your right hand connected and your left hand comes to your left hip. Wrap your left butt cheek back. Shrug your left shoulder up and back, and from your belly, start to turn your chest open to the left, keeping that left leg straight. As you wrap the left hip back, press the big toe side edge of your left foot down. You might feel the spiral of energy run through the left leg. And now lean back against yourself, maybe reaching the left arm to the ceiling for Pavrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And on your inhale, begin to unwind. Lower your hands to your sticky mat and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. With those hands as wide as your mat, hug an imaginary block between your thighs. Inhale through to plank pose. Wait for the exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. A long breath in to rise, Cobra. Hug the imaginary block even as the chest lifts. And exhale to take it up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, no rush, lift the right leg up and back. Step your right foot through or around to find your lunge. Pivot your back heel all the way down to the ground, and on your inhale, rise for warrior two, facing the long edge of your mat. Let the right knee and toes point straight ahead to the front of the room. Unlock your back knee, and as you look away from the floor, stretch through the fingertips to remember the breath. A slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend 1 more inch into your front knee as you grow taller through the crown of your head. Now keep the legs the same. Breathe in to reach just your arms to the ceiling. Bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the upper back, and let your left fingertips grab onto the elbow. Now think elbow high to the ceiling. Press your head back to lift the chin, and also slide the ribs back to support the middle of your back. A slow breath in and down. Stay for the exhale, bend 1 more inch into your front knee as you lift the right elbow to the sky. Now inhale to release those arms. Straighten your right leg and turn your right toes to face the long edge of your mat. You'll watch for the butts in front of you as you start to hinge from your hips and bring your fingertips to the floor or blocks down onto the ground. For this wide-legged forward fold, unlock the knees if they're locked. And now imagine like you have 10 blocks between your thighs that you don't want to let them drop. Hug them in towards each other. Keep that hugging as you take a long breath in. And on your exhale, maybe the elbows bend as you bow your chest in towards the earth. There's this constant pulsation. Each inhale, the legs hug together. Each exhale, the legs hug as your spine gets heavier towards the earth, creating more space for more of you. Okay, let that head stay heavy. Start to turn the right knee and toes through to lunge. Bring your hands to frame out the right foot and step it all the way back to downward facing dog. With those hands wide, a couple more times together. Inhale to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Hug the imaginary block between your thighs as you lift your chest up. And exhale to take it up and back to downward facing dog. You might mentally locate your strap. We'll take a shoulder stretch eventually on this side. So as you lift your left leg up and back, step your left foot through to find your lunge. Pivot your back heel all the way to the ground. And as you breathe in, rise, Virabhadrasana 2 on the second side. That's it. With the back foot heavy on the earth, can you lift your heart, try to peek away from the ground? And now remember the breath, a slow breath that moves in and down. As you exhale, bend into your left knee, guide your left knee open as you look away from the floor. And now keep the legs the same. Reach just your arms to the ceiling. Bend the left elbow, pat yourself on the back, and let the right fingertips hold on. For my mobile friends, where even pulling the left elbow more towards the middle of the head might feel better, see if you can press your left elbow forward, more towards the front of the room. And now use your right fingertips to lift the elbow up as you press your head back. A deeper breath in and a longer breath out. Bend into your front knee as you lift the elbow up. Now release those arms out to a T. Straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes to face the long edge of your mat and begin to hinge from your hips, maybe bringing your strap close by as you bow in towards yourself. That's it. If you're using the strap, you can unravel it and go ahead and grab the strap between your hands somewhere at your low back. I like to use the strap because it gives my chest a lot of room. You can also interlace your fingers. It's up to you at the lowest part of your back itself. But with the strap or no strap, bend your elbows quite a bit. Hug your shoulder blades together. And now start to reach your arms off of your butt towards the ceiling without letting the elbows lock out. At the last second, sometimes they want to lock. Keep a tiny bend in your knees, a tiny bend in your elbows. And that pulsation begins. Each inhale, hug those imaginary blocks with your legs. Each exhale, try to tug your strap apart, kiss the shoulder blades together, and maybe reach your arms overhead towards the long edge of your mat, breathing. And now on an inhale, release those hands back to your butt. Ditch your strap off to the side. Turn the left knee and toes through to lunge, and we meet once again in downward facing dog as your hips lift up and back. One more time together with those hands wide. Inhale to plank pose. Wait for your exhale to lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to rise for Cobra. Hug the imaginary block, hug the shoulder blades together, and exhale to take it back to downward facing dog. Now from your down dog, lift the right leg up and back, and step your right foot through to find your lunge. Pivot your right foot, or heel toe your right foot a few inches over to the right, and on your inhale, come up to rise for high lunge as you reach your arms and your chest to the sky. Now, similar to in pyramid, sometimes the hips here want to spin open to the left. Can you wrap your left hip forward, the right hip back, stretch up through the arms, look away from the ground as you take a deep breath in. Stay for your exhale and bend one more inch into your front knee. Now hands come to your hips, getting springy. Take all the hops you need to scoop your left thigh up towards your chest. Stand down through your right leg. Grow up and out through the crown of your head. And this time, draw your left heel towards your left butt cheek and let your left hand reach around for the top of your left foot for a standing thigh stretch. Hug an imaginary block between your thighs. And as you push your left foot back into your hand, shrug your left shoulder up and back. You can stay here, finding a steady point to gaze. Or as you push your foot back, keep your heel and hip connected, and maybe start to hinge from your hips as you bow forward. Your hand might stay on your hip. You could always come high onto a block out in front of you. Or to play with your balance, your right hand might reach around for the top of your left foot for this version of Natarajasana. But a deeper breath in and down. Stay for the exhale. Push your foot back as you lift your heart up. And now on an inhale, see if you can reverse it. Draw your chest to the sky. Reach your arms up. Draw the left knee to your belly. And now thread the left foot back to lunge. Not done yet. Tap your fingertips to the ground. Heel toe your right foot all the way over to the left side of your mat. And lower your right knee and shin down onto the ground for the one and only request of class, pigeon. Now remember, if pigeon feels not suitable on the knee or hip, lizard lunge is a great alternative. Same effect, just less intensity. But once you make your way into pigeon, come high up onto your blocks or fingertips out in front of you. Now without moving the legs, try to hug your knees towards each other. So wrap your left hip forward and the right hip back. Now press into the blocks to lift your chest, and a bonus thigh stretch. Start to bend your left knee to lift your left toes up off the ground. You might stay here, or you might get a little lighter as your left hand reaches around for the top of your left foot, or the leg of your pants, or a strap. But just like we've been doing all class, can you slide those ribs back? See what that does in the left thigh. Hug the shoulder blades together as you take a long breath in, and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now slow inhale to release that leg. Plant your palms onto your sticky mat and peel yourself back to downward facing dog as your hips lift to the sky. You can stay right here with your breath. You might lower your knees to the ground and take your breaths closer to gravity. Or your breath might take you through one of those linking vinyasas we've done together already. There's no wrong answer, but can you remember your breath first and foremost? Feel the cool air as it comes in through your nose, and the warmth of your exhale as you offer that breath out through your nose or mouth. Breath to heart, heart to mind and mind to body. And now one last side to try out. So from your down dog, there's no rush. Lift the left leg up and back. Step your left foot through to find your lunge. You might heel toe your left foot an inch over to the left so your feet are less on a balance beam, so that when you come up to rise for a high lunge, there's a little more stability underneath you. Find a point to gaze that steadies you, that's maybe away from the floor. And as you lift your back heel, knee, and thigh, stretch up through the fingertips, take a big breath in, stay for the exhale and bend one more inch into your front knee. Now you might keep your hands overhead, you might bring them to your hips, but get springy off the back foot and all the hops you need to scoop your right thigh to your chest. This time, draw your right heel towards your own butt cheek and reach your right hand around for the top of the foot. For this version of Nattarajasana, wherever this left hand is, on your hip or to the sky, hug that imaginary block, and now shrug your right shoulder up and back. Stay here the entire time, or any of those variations apply. You might push your foot back and start to bow forward in towards yourself. Maybe your left hand taps a block. It might stay on your hip. You might also reach it around to hug onto the right foot. But take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out through your nose or mouth. Now reverse inhale to come all the way back up. Draw the right knee to your belly, reach up to touch the sky, and thread your right foot back to lunge. Tap your hands to the earth, and for pigeon or lizard lunge, for pigeon, you'll heel toe your left foot all the way to the right, and lower your left knee and shin down. For lizard, you'll walk your left foot all the way over to the left. That's it. Now here, hug the knees towards each other. Try to wrap your right hip forward and the left outer hip back. Now as you come up onto your fingertips or blocks, begin to bend your back knee, lift your back toes up off the floor. Stay right here, or you might reach your right hand around for the top of your right foot, or a strap or the leg of your pants. For Ekapada Raja Kapotasana, prep, king pigeon prep pose, a long name for pigeon itself. But hug the knees together, slide the ribs back, lift your gaze away from the ground as you take a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. And now inhale to release the hold of your back foot. Plant those palms and peel yourself up and back to downward facing dog. From your down dog, come forward to plank pose, if only for a moment, and lower all the way down onto your belly. Now once you're on your belly, make a pillow with your hands, rest on your forehead or on one side of your cheek. Close or soften your eyes for a moment and call yourself back to your breath. We started a while ago in heart bench, feeling the parts of the back of your body connected to the blocks or to the floor. So here, as you lay on your belly, can you feel the parts of you touching the ground? And as you breathe into your belly, can you feel your mid and low back expand and widen? And with each exhale, let some part of you get 5% heavier into the floor. Now just to keep it even, if you're on a cheek or on one side of your palm, you might switch which side you're on. As you take one more 3-dimensional breath, breathe into your belly, the sides of your waist and the back of your body, and exhale through your nose or parted lips to offer that breath out. That's it. Okay, after a few breaths here, you'll bring your hands to either side of your chest, press up through to tabletop just for a moment, and you'll come to lie onto your back with your head to the front of the room, feet to the back of the room, and have a couple of things close by. So have one of your blocks somewhere where you can reach it easily, and also have both of your therapy balls somewhere that you can grab those. And if anyone needs therapy balls, feel free to lay down, get comfortable, and I can bring some over to you. But have the therapy balls and one of your blocks close by. And as you come to lay onto your back, bend both knees and bring your feet flat onto the floor. Now, I know it was a while ago, and we may have forgotten. I forgot, but I'm remembering now. You'll bring that block in between your thighs, just like you did in that first Surya Namaskar. So once you find the block in between your thighs, walk your heels towards your butt, and now bend your elbows as you point your fingertips up towards the ceiling, like you're holding a block between your hands or doing the robot. Shrug your shoulders to the ears, snuggle your shoulder blades towards each other, and for Setu Bandhasana bridge pose, hug the block, push through your feet to lift your butt high up off the ground. Now wiggle the shoulder blades towards each other to lift the back of your chest up, and gently press the back of your head down to lift your chin away from your chest. Let there be space for breath to come through. Now your hands might stay here. There's more surface area to press your elbows down to lift your chest higher. You might straighten your arms alongside of you and push your palms into the ground. You might also interlace your fingers as you press your wrists, your forearms, and your pinkies into the earth. But 2 more breaths. Each inhale, hug the block, push through your feet to lift your hips up. Each exhale, snuggle those shoulder blades towards one another to lift the chest. Good. After a few breaths, release the hands, lower your butt to the ground. You can use your hand to gently clear the block out of the way, and either knock your knees into each other or gently windshield wiper your knees from side to side. That'll be a sweet counter pose to everything that you just did in the backward bend. Okay. We're taking 4 rounds of these and some pauses and breaks in between. So for the second round, you'll do the same thing with the option of coming into a different arm variation of Urdhva Dhanurasana. So start by bringing that block in between your thighs to give those legs something to hug into. Walk your heels quite close to your butt. And now do the robot as you wiggle your shoulder blades towards each other. Bridge pose revisited. On your inhale, hug the block, push through your feet to lift your butt high. Snuggle the shoulder blades together to lift the back of your chest up. And now gently press your head down to let there be space between your chin and your chest for breath to come through. Stay right here the whole time. Or a long time ago when we were in heart bench, you might reach your arms straight up to the ceiling like you're holding a beach ball between your hands. This time, as you reach your arms towards the front of the room, you start to bend your elbows towards the sky and bring your palms by your ears to either side of your mat, fingertips facing towards your heels. With your hands as wide as your mat, snuggle the shoulder blades towards each other. Hug the block and push through your feet to lift your hips up. Pause, take a few breaths here. A slow breath in through the nose. Stay for the exhale as you hug the block to lift your hips up. That's it. Now slowly release your hands. Lower your butt, clear the block, and either let the knees rest into one another or slowly windshield wiper your knees from side to side, breathing. Okay, before we visit round 3 and 4, let's get some therapy balls in there, into the upper back. So it's up to you. You might keep the therapy balls in their tote, or you can take them out. But once you have a hold of those therapy balls in your hands, start to lift your head, neck, and shoulders up off of the ground. From your upper back, you'll pop the therapy balls in between your shoulder blades. So think to the top tips of your shoulder blades, either side of your spine. That's it. There's no incorrect place for them to go. You mind if I help for a second? Sure. So from the upper back, and now come on down. There you go. Thanks. Once you find a place that you can breathe in or be curious about, you might bring your head down onto the floor, or you might bring your head up onto a block to alleviate any pressure. Because the aim of the game here is not to seek out the most intensity and the most sensation, but seeing if you can breathe through all the shifts. Now there's plenty to do in stillness. You might let your arms get heavy alongside of you as you take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out. Or you might reach your arms, bless you, towards the ceiling once again, as if you're holding that beach ball between your hands. And now stretch your fingertips 3 more inches to the sky. Feel your shoulder blades widen. And as you exhale, plug the shoulder blades together. You might feel the therapy balls nestle further into your upper back. A few more times, a deep breath in. Maybe you reach up to touch the ceiling. And exhale to plug the shoulder blades towards one another. And now one more time, a big breath in. Reach up to touch the sky. And even open your mouth to let it out as the shoulder blades hug towards each other. Now slowly lower your arms down by your sides. And for 2 more places, you can bend your knees, push through your feet, and roll your body towards your head. You doing okay with them? Do you need an extra space? That's fair. Yeah, totally fine. So as you push through your feet to move your hips more towards the front of the room, feel the therapy balls come down your back, more to the middle tips of the shoulder blades, so slightly lower than where they just were. Once you find this new place, bring the block with you, or let your head get heavy on the floor as you take a deeper breath in, and even open your mouth to let that breath out. We're trying to get those therapy balls in the trapezius muscle, that big span of muscle in between the bones of the shoulder blades and alongside of the spine. So again, you might stay right here with your arms heavy, or you might reach your arms up towards the ceiling, and being mindful of any props or neighbors, perhaps you reach just your right arm overhead towards the front of the room. And then as the right arm slowly draws back up towards the ceiling, you can reach your left arm overhead, moving with your breath more than anything else, slowing down the next breath in, and even exhaling through your nose or parted lips. And see how when you slow the breath down, what is it that you notice? Now, if your arms are lifted and you've gone evenly a few times, take your time to lower your arms down by your sides. And one last place, with your knees bent, feet on the floor, push through your feet to roll your body to the front of the room until the therapy balls come down to the bottom tips of your shoulder blades. So still in the upper back, just slightly lower than before. A big breath in, a longer breath out. And now stay here, reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And this time you might give yourself a hug as if your hands could reach for the therapy balls or your shoulder blades behind you. Try to unclench your palms and fingers, let them be soft as you wrap around yourself. If you are giving yourself that hug, you might switch whichever you want to feel the difference feels in. But a deeper breath in through the nose and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And now this time, unravel your arms. Clear any blocks out from behind your head if they're there. And as you reach both of your arms overhead, roll over onto your right hand side, off of the therapy balls. And with the least amount of effort needed, press up to a seat just to come see what we're about to get into. Yes? There's, I know, it's not that, what I've learned over the years is teaching poses when you're lying on your back. It's just me spending 1 minute showing it to you is easier than me Simon Says-ing it. So I'll show you some options similar to what we've done already. But the idea is coming into 2 more rounds of backward bends of your choice. So rolling out those trapezius. I remember Mariel, the studio owner, went to take a workshop in New York, like the role model method, to learn about all the therapy balls, and she brought them back and was incorporating them in every class back in 2015. And I remember coming to class and being like, I hate this. I've been practicing yoga forever, and why have I never felt any part of my body in this way before? And so there's no guarantee that the therapy balls will be part of daily practice. No obligation to like them whatsoever. They're just another tool to incorporate some awareness into these small muscles in our body that sometimes, you can't turn your head to see them. So just feeling something there might bring a level of awareness that might not before. So this is what we're getting into next. Similar to what you've done, you set up in bridge pose. The block between your thighs really helps curb this, which no one was doing, but just to over-exaggerate, you have to see the unfortunate view. Sometimes when you lift up into back bends, the butt muscles work, the toes and heels turn out, and if not today, but over time, it doesn't feel great on the low back. So when you hug the block together with your thighs, it creates stability here so that your upper back can find space, which is what we're looking for. Harder to find there, but we try. So the block between your thighs, you hug it in. Elbows, lift up into bridge pose. There's so much to do right here. Wiggling the shoulder blades together, reaching your hips high and breathing. Maybe you interlace your fingers or bring the webbing of your hands together. So this is place one to breathe. The next place, like we did before, is bringing your hands by your ears as wide as your mat. Hug the block, snuggle the shoulder blades together. And now this is all legs, yes? All legs as I'm pushing into my feet. Maybe I come up to the crown of my head. Quads on fire, thighs are hugging in, and maybe the arms straighten. Breathe. I haven't done this in a very long time, and it really shows. But maybe you breathe here. Maybe you tiptoe your feet closer towards your elbows as you breathe. And then to come out, you lower down the same way you came in. The block is there to keep you steady. Yeah, if it falls, no problem. But the idea of what I want you to think about is not lifting up by turning the feet out. The feet and legs stay steady, and you use that as the building block. Because this is what we're looking for, to open up through here, which sometimes doesn't want to open. Yes? 2 rounds. There's stages. You do not have to do any of that or all of it. Bridge pose, prep to Urdhva Dhanurasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana. But we'll try 1, pause, and then come back. Come to lie down. If there's any questions, please call them out. Happy to answer. And there's lots of teachers in the room who might have some insight too. So here, as you come to lie onto your back, bend your knees and bring the block between your thighs. Walk your heels close-ish to your butt. And now bend your elbows like you're doing the robot. Snuggle the shoulder blades together. Push through your feet to lift your hips high up off of the ground. Wiggle the shoulder blades towards one another and press the back of your head down to let there be space in the throat. I invite you to ignore everything I say next and stay here the entire time with your breath. Or for any of those other variations, you bring your palms by your ears with your hands as wide as your mat, not close to the ears, but wide, 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 wide. Hug the block. Push through your feet, and maybe you come up to the top of your head. Hug the block. Push through the thighs, and maybe then the arms straighten. But hug that block. Hug it, hug it, hug it, hug it, hug it. As you take a slow breath in through the nose, and a longer breath out through your nose or mouth. And when you find your next few breaths, you lower your upper back, your low back, your butt to the ground. Ditch the block and either knock the knees in or let the knees windshield wiper. These gentle twists create a really sweet counter pose to elongate the muscles of the spine. But try to go with your breath. Slow breath in, longer breaths out. Now the next time those knees come back through center, round 4 out of 4, the last one. As you bring the knees back, find that block for the last time. Instead of in the groins, can you bring it more to the middle of the legs and give the thighs a hug? Bend your elbows, snuggle the shoulder blades together. On your inhale, lift up into Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Hug the shoulder blades, press the ears back to lift your chin. Stay here or towards Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. Palms come as wide as your mat. Let the pinkies graze the edges. Hug the block to maybe come up to the crown of your head for a breath as you hug the block to straighten the arms, reaching your heart forward. Completely optional to lift your heels and tiptoe your feet back a centimeter towards your palms. But then you hug the block again and reach your chest forward towards the front of the room. Breathe. After a few breaths, lower down the same way you entered, your upper, your low, your mid back to the ground. Everyone finally clear the block out of the way. And as you walk your feet to come as wide as your mat, let your hands rest onto your belly and let your knees rest into one another. Feel the weight of your legs support the other. Take a full breath here into your palms and even open your mouth to let that breath out. And let every part of you get heavier into the floor. One more, a big belly breath in, breathe into your chest, and open your mouth to let all of that breath out. Now your hands can stay on your belly and ribs. Watch for any props around you as you drop both of your knees over to the right side of your mat. On your inhale, bring the knees back up through center. Big exhale to let both of your knees drop over to the left. On your inhale, as the knees come back up through center, cross your left thigh all the way over your right thigh, like you're seated in a chair, left over right. Scoot your butt an inch to the left, and let your knees drop over to the right hand side as you pause and take a few breaths here. Your hands might stay resting on your belly or on your ribs. If you have space, you might reach them off to the side like a big T. But gently press the back of your head down into the ground. And stay here. Your gaze might turn to the left, away from the knees, letting the left corner of your eye, the left side of your cheek, and the left side of your jaw soften and widen against the earth. On your next inhale, bring your head back through center first. Then let the legs uncross as you bring your knees and feet back through center. As you cross your right thigh all the way over the left thigh, scoot your butt a few inches to the right so you stay on your sticky mat, and let your knees drop over to the left. A long, steady breath in and down. And as you exhale, press the back of your head into the earth and maybe let your gaze travel over to the right, letting the right side of your cheek, the right side of your jaw, and even the right corner of your lips soften and widen against the ground. On your next inhalation, draw your head up through center first, then uncross your legs as your knees return back through center. Give both of your knees a hug in towards your belly or in towards your chest. You might make some small circles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you lean ever so slightly from side to side. Or you might come towards happy baby as you widen your knees. Your hands might catch the backs of your thighs, your calves, or the pinky edges of your feet. But can you find some symmetry in the right, the left, and the front and back of your body as you take a longer breath in and a deeper breath out? And now with care, release the hold of your legs down to the earth. Stretch your arms overhead, and with the least amount of effort required, roll over to your favorite side, bless you, to press up to a seat just for a moment longer. So in a second, we'll all set up for Shavasana, your pose of rest. I wanted to give some options to give your low back a little more space to settle since we'll be here for a while. So this one might look like you'll all have your heads to the front, feet to the back. Your two blocks can come side by side. If you have a blanket, it usually comes off the stack like this. You might roll it a few times to create a little shelf. And when you do come to lay down, you want the crook of your knees over the block and bolster, your heels heavy on the floor, so that when you come to lie on your back, parts of the back of your body can really settle into the ground. If there's any other version that you'd like to take for Shavasana, I really invite you to do so, but we have all the props. So I invite you to find a way to be where you can be as comfortable as possible. And there's no rush to find your way there. But do have your heads to the front of the room, feet towards the back of the room. And as you set yourself up for your rest, I invite you to move 75% slower than you are already. No urgency and no rush to arrive. You'll be there at the perfect time. You might let your hair down. You might set your glasses safely off to the side for the time being. And this evening, I'll talk you through a few rounds of pranayama, of some breath work, that not only helps draw the attention more inward, but might prepare the body for rest. And know that the shape that you're in, you can shift or adjust or change it at any point. But for this viloma pranayama, this suspended or interrupted breath, you'll start by taking a slow breath in through your nose to fill your belly and up into the chest. And exhale completely through your nose or parted lips to offer the breath out. Your next inhale, can you picture it in 3 separate parts? First inhale, breathe just into your belly, gently hold. Next, breathe into your lungs and the sides of your waist, hold. Third, breathe into the top of your chest, pause at the top. And exhale through your nose to empty your chest, your lungs, and your belly. That's 1 round. I invite you to really follow your pace more than my voice. A slow breath to fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill the back and sides of your chest, pause. And exhale through your nose to empty your heart, your lungs, and your belly. Slow breath to fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, pause. Fill the back and front of your chest, hold. And exhale through the nose to slowly empty your heart, your lungs, and your belly. 3 more rounds. A slow breath, the belly fills, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill up into your heart, pause at the top, and exhale through your nose to empty your chest, your lungs, and your belly. A slow breath to fill your belly, retain. Fill your lungs, hold. Fill the back and front of your heart, pause at the top. And exhale through the nose to empty your chest, your lungs, and all the breath from your belly. Last round. Inhale, the belly fills, retain. Fill your lungs, pause. Fill into the heart, pause at the top. And exhale through the nose to empty your chest, your lungs, and all the breath through the belly. Now, without any holds or pauses, take a breath to fill the belly, fill your chest, fill the throat up into the crown of your head. And as you exhale through your nose or parted lips, can you release the counts and control of the breath itself. Begin to let your slow, rhythmic cadence find its way back through you. And it's here for these next few moments. Each breath that you take slowly dissolves the entire practice that was. Each breath helps you arrive to where you are now. And every breath that comes after creates more space for what has yet to come. So if even for these next few moments, can you let each round of your breath, let your entire body get heavier into the earth. And the heavier your body becomes, the more spacious and the lighter you might start to feel. Begin to deepen your breath. Take a longer breath in and a sweeter breath out. Take another breath in and down so it fills you up completely. And exhale to offer all of that breath out. Let your breath begin to slowly awaken the body that you're in with any gentle movement that feels supportive to you. You might roll your wrists or your ankles in one or the other direction. Perhaps you gently tip your head from one side to the other, heavy against the ground. Or being mindful of those around you or any props, you might reach your arms away from your legs or draw your knees in towards your chest. But when the time comes, you can bend both knees, feel your feet on the props or on the floor as you reach your arms overhead and roll over to either side of your choice to curl into yourself. With the least amount of effort needed, you can press into the ground and take your time to come up to rise to a tall spine facing the front of the room. Perhaps you're seated on any props that are available to you, but as you find a tall spine, let your eyes soften or close so you can once again return to your breath. Take a slow breath in and down, letting it fill you up. And as you exhale, offer the breath up and out through every fiber of your being. Our time together will finish with one more of those breaths. You can place your hands to center anywhere that might feel for you. As you take a long breath in, to offer all of it out. You might bow your head to your heart or lift your hands towards your head in such a simple but profound gesture of self-reverence, bowing to yourself and to one another who practiced right alongside with you. And I bow to each and every one of you all. Thank you so much for being here and being together. Thank you. Drink water, stay cool, take care of yourselves and each other. If there are any props that you used or mats or your own mats that you want to give a swipe with, there's a fresh bucket of wipes here. And otherwise, the quick announcements that I have, class is still on for next week. Kashika will be teaching. She's incredible, so do come through. And then it's so close, but it's so far away, September. I'm teaching again. For the past couple of years, we've been teaching the free classes at the Art Museum. So they're Saturdays from 9 to 10. It's BYO mat, BYO props. It's very beginner friendly. We're on hard floors, so it's very beginner friendly. But it is pristine weather. It's like the best time to be out there in the Art Museum Sculpture Garden. You get a free ticket to the museum if you are interested. And then the last quick announcement that I have is September 11th to the 13th, Adriana and I are starting our 50-hour immersion that also continues into our 200-hour teacher training. But if you've ever had questions about the anatomy, the alignment, the mythology, the history of yoga as practiced here, we start in September and it goes through December and then May if you want to go all the way through, which sometimes happens. But feel free to chat and ask any of us questions. We're happy to chat your ear off about it forever and always. That's it from me. Does anyone else have announcements? Any things in your worlds to see, to do, or to go to? They're starting the, usually I have non-related to yoga announcements, but they're all yoga related today. If you've been to the Bach roof, I have 2 Bach building related announcements. One, Nicole Drew, who teaches here in the morning, she just opened up her own yoga studio in the Bach building, and it is gorgeous. I tried to press my nose up against the window because class wasn't there. It's like, is anyone here? But it is the most beautiful studio on the 6th floor, and they have a whole bunch of classes. So if you find yourself at Bach or you know anyone in that region, please feel free to point them that direction. And then they're teaching all of the Bach rooftop classes. I'm teaching one on September 8th, I think. It's a Tuesday night, and they're all fundraiser classes with rotating nonprofits where all the proceeds go to. But those are also very fun. Coming up soon. Thanks for coming. Yes. Yes, give me one. I'll just turn, if I don't turn all this off immediately, it stays on for 24 hours. Thank you. Bye, y'all. Thank you.